Hey, Professor Wiseguy here, and I would like to talk about another logic game that I enjoy playing. Actually, it's been my go-to for the last year or so. It's the thing I do when I'm sick of grading papers, which, as I've said before, is pretty much before I start grading papers. All right, the game is called KenKen, and I want to give you an introduction to it and then show you some techniques for solving KenKen puzzles. So let's look at the introduction. Let's go to the main KenKen page. That's kenkenpuzzle.com. It allows us to choose what size puzzle we do, all the way from 3 times 3, 3 by 3, up to 9 by 9. And just looking at those possibilities there, you can see it makes a big difference. We're going to do a 4 by 4 just to get us started. This allows us to do plus, minus, multiply, and divide. Here we go, 4 times 4 by 4. And like Sudoku, it's got to have all the numerals 1 through 4 on every row and on every column. More importantly, it can't have 2 of any number. So that's important. Here's the basic thing. You got to be able to add up, in this case, these 3 numbers to make 6. You've got to be able to multiply these 3 numbers to make 24. You got to be able to divide these 2 numbers to yield 2. Add up to be 7, add up to be 5, subtract to yield 2, divide to yield 2. Okay, that's the basic idea. One thing I would point out, you can't have any duplicates in any of these straight ones. But this one here, which kind of turns the corner, it can have duplicate numbers. For example, I don't know if there is such a number. I don't think there is. But you could conceivably have 3 times 3 times 2 to make 18. Of course, it's 24 here. Let's see if we can solve this thing. How can you, with the numbers 1 through 4, add up to get 6? Only one way, and that's really what we're looking for. Only one way. And I'm going to put these up here because we don't know what order they're in. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm just going to drag them and drop them there. So this up here has to be 4. My division over here, not a lot of division that can happen here in the numbers 1 through 4. You could have, or at least not to yield 2. Actually, I think that's the only thing you can do. But you can have 1 and 2 or 2 and 4. Well, the 4 is already used, so this has got to be 1 and 2, which then tells me this thing is a 3. So 12 there, 4 times 3 is 12. This has to be 2. Now I know, because 2 and 3 are taken already, this has to be 1 and 4. Don't know what order they're in, but I'm making some progress. Now this this division can't be 1, 2 because one of these, this number here has to be 1 or 2. Both of them can't be down here. We've already got a 2 there. We're going to put the 2 there, the 4 there. Now this is a 1, and we now have only one possibility here, a 3. Got to have a 1 there, and I'm just going to go with what's already chosen, and that leaves me with 7. There's only one way to make 7, and the numbers that are available make that necessary. Okay, that's the basic idea. Figure out what multiplies or divides or adds or subtracts to yield whatever number is in there, and you can't have duplicate numbers on any row or in any column. Having solved a 4 by 4, let's do something a little more challenging. I'm going to go to an 8 by 8. It's, again, got all of the operators, plus, minus, multiply, and divide. And let's say play. And boom, there we go. Now, what am I going to do? Pretty much the same thing I would do in any similar logic puzzle. I'm going to go with the easy things first. For example, there isn't anything much easier than something that doesn't even have an operator. That's a 3. That's a 1. 7 minus what can you subtract out of 8? 1 through 8, what can you subtract to get 7? The only thing you can do is 1 and 8. So that's a useful one to have come along. 15 can only be added up to be made by 8 plus 7. And notice 8, 7, oh, that knocks out that 8 there. So that's got to be a 1, and that's got to be an 8. 1 and 2 over here to make 3. Well, again, the 1 is there, so this has got to be the 2, and that's the 1. Here's another 8, 1 for the 7 minus. How many ways can you make 12? 12 plus. And by the way, there may be some more. Actually, I see another easy one. It wasn't easy to start with, but it is now because these two, how many 4 divided sort of results can you have? Well, you can have 4, 1. 4 divided by 1 is 4, or 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 4, 1 or 8, 2. We've got 2 1s, so it can't be a 1. Can't be 4, 1. We've got an 8 and a 2. So we're actually knowing it's got to be 8, 2, because that 2 forces the 8 over here, and that 8 forces the 2 there. What else we got? I saw something here a second ago, and I've lost it. Oh, I remember. 12. How many ways can you make 12? Well, you could go 8, 4, 7, 5, 6, 6. No, you can't do 6, 6 because that's the same number. It can't be 8, 4 because of that 8, so it's got to be 7, 5. Nice. All righty. What do we got now? 1, 2, 5, 7, 8. So 3, 4, 6 remaining. 3, 4, 6. Well, let's just plug those in up here in the notes, and I'm going to put them in both spots. What do you notice? Well, to get 2 minus, going to have to be either 2 odd or 2 even numbers, and the only possibility we've got there is 4 and 6. So that means the 3 has to be over here. Okay, again, I don't know which order those are in, but it really doesn't matter. The 1, well, it could be a 2, it could be a 4. So let's plug those in. 3 divided, that's kind of like 4 divided. There's only 2 possibilities. It's 3, 1. 3 divided by 1 is 3, or 6 divided by 2 is 3. And the 3 right there next to it, this must be 6, 2. Got a 2 down here, so that has to be the 6, that has to be the 2. Again, making some progress. How do you get 8? 8 is an interesting one. Could be 1 times 2 times 4. Could be 1 times 1 times 8. But it can't be because both the 1 and the 8 are down here. So it can't be. This 2 is making things complicated, but actually it's telling me something. I think we've got 2, and then we've got 4, and then we've got 1. Now let's see if that works out. What have I got so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5, 7, 8 remaining. 5, 7, 8. All right. What can I subtract to get a 3? Well, it's got to be the 5 and the 8. So that puts the 7 over here. And a 4 there. This has now told me this is a 5. It's the only remaining possibility. That must be a 7. What do I have here now? 1, 2, 4, 7, 8. So that leaves 3, 5, and 6. Let's put those in as possibilities. Sometimes you'll have one of those numbers to the right or to the left, and that tells you it's not that number. Anything here that doesn't work? Well, the 3 works, the 6 works, the 5 doesn't. That's not a multiple of 5, so I'm going to get rid of that 5. What else could I do? Well, 6 minus. Only 2 possibilities there. 8 minus 2 or 7 minus 1. I've got 8 and 2 up here, so it's got to be 7 and 1. How do you make 21? Well, 3 times 7, but I got 3 numbers. Well, it's got to be 1 times 3 times 7. And that was singularly unhelpful because it doesn't correspond with any of these numbers up here. But that's okay. We'll see that it eventually is going to work for us. How about this column here? 1, 2, 3, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7 remaining. Well, it can't be a 4, so 5, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7, and 4, 5, 6, 7. I gotta tell you, that's not all that helpful. So we'll leave that alone for a moment. Oh, I didn't notice that 3 plus there. That means that's 1 plus 2. How many things yield 2 in division in these numbers? Well, it can be 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, or 4, 8. Well, it can't be either of the 2s. It can't be 4, 8, so it's got to be 6, 3. So let's choose that. Put those in here. What do we got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's got to be an 8. And since that's minus 3, must be that 5 right there. That's narrowed us down over here to 7 and 8. See, as we start to get these things, the possibilities are reduced greatly. This has to be 3, 4, 5. How am I going to make this 8? Well, that's the 3, 5. Meaning the remaining one is 4. And this has got to be 3, 5 also. Okay, this gets a little tricky, the 3 minus here. I know it can't be 1, 4. It could be 2, 5. Can't be 3, 6, can't be 4, 7, but it could be 5, 8. So 2, 5, and 8. It could be, and look here, 2 and 8 are already used here, so this has got to be 5. And 8 is used here, so it's 2. Sometimes you just use these processes of elimination. Now, perhaps somebody really well versed in math would be able to work out some kind of equation that would tell me why, but I just do it by process of elimination. Since the only possibility there is 4, 6, I'm just going to duplicate that, and notice the 4 is already there. 6, and that's 4, and that's 6. This minus 4, only possibility is a 2. And now I got some things that are done for me here. That's 3 times 7 is 21, and how do you get 168 out of that? You multiply it by 8. We already know that's a 4. That's got to be a 6. That's got to be a 7, because the only possibilities are 5 and 7, and there's already a 5 there. 1, 2, 3 is missing yet. Only 2 possibilities there. They've got to add up to 9 to make this 12. What do we have? I think I see something they like to do. It can't be 1, 8. It can't be 2, 7. It can't be 5, 4. It's 3, 6, and that's got to be there, the 3, and that's got to be there. You notice they've got the same number there. They kind of bend the corner so that they're not offending each other. This now we've established is a 5. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 6. 3, 6. The 1, it's got to be a 5 or a 7. Well, I got 2 reasons to say it's not a 7. These 2 over here and that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 is what's left. And now I go 7 there. 1, 7, 3, 1, 7, 5, 3, 4. That could be a 2 or a 6. It could be either one. So I'm just going to leave it alone for the moment. It could be a 2 or a 6, but there's a 6 over here, so it's a 2. This could be a 4 or a 6. There's a 4 up here, so it's a 6. And all I've got left is these, and there are already 7 items there. That has to be a 4, and that has to be, only one remaining is an 8. And boom, it tells me. One thing I would point out, I want to do something here real quickly. And let's just say that I realize I've made a mistake. I'm just going to punch in some numbers. Okay, and these are probably all wrong. One thing I can do is I can check. I can go down here and check, and it just tell me they're all wrong. It'd be green if they were right. And so I realize, oh, I've made a mistake. I just undo, and it backs me up. Or I say, oh, I went too far. I can redo. Sometimes what I'll do is I will do everything that I can be absolutely certain of, and then I say, well, there are only two possibilities, say, for 4 divided. It's the 4-1 or the 8-2, so I'll put one of them in. But I remember it was there, and I did 4-1. And then I play, and if I realize, and oftentimes I do right away, that, oh, that doesn't work, then I just back up to the place where I put those in. And that's something I do like because it just allows you not to spend 10 minutes solving a puzzle and then you realize, oh, I made a mistake. It's just everything's lost. Now you can it gives you a fairly easy way to say, let's try this and see how the thing turns out. All right, that's about all I want to look at, probably more than you wanted to look at. So for an English guy like me, KenKen is about as much math as I want to do. But that's okay. It's a fun game, doesn't really take a lot of concentration, but I think it does sharpen your mind, make you think of things in a different way. So to me, it's kind of worth killing a little time with, and it sure beats playing World of Warcraft, which I've never played. Anyway, if you found this useful, or any of my stuff useful, or even if you just pity me, then consider subscribing, ring the bell, give me a thumbs up. But for now, get out of here.